Hello everyone, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing something new on here. I'm going to share my Steve Martin collection. I'm a really big fan of his. He's one of my favorite actors, and everything, and comedians and musicians, because he pretty much has done a little bit of everything. But, starting off, I've got the Saturday Night Live Best of Steve Martin. Pack also has Best of Chris Farley, Best of Christopher Walken, and Best of Tom Hanks, and everything. But I mainly got this collection because I wanted the Steve Martin and Chris Farley ones. I just love them; they're hilarious. I love Tom Hanks and Christopher Walken too, but I really love Steve Martin. Now he's one of my favorite actors and comedians of all time. Then I have The Muppet Movie. I got this at a thrift store for $1.99. I haven't taken the sticker off, but it's a really good movie. For one of his first film appearances, I think it was his very first film appearance, but really good movie. And then I have The Jerk. This was one of his first movies that he helped write. It's directed by Carl Reiner, who he collaborated with quite a bit in the 80s. And just a really, really good movie. Probably my favorite movie that he's in. And there's Pennies from Heaven. This movie took me forever to find. I wanted to see it really bad because it's a musical. Because I love musicals and everything, but the music in this movie is so weird because they the actors lip sync to old music from the set in the era of the movie set in the 1930s and everything. So it's a really good movie, but it's pretty weird. But it's kind of a hard find though. If you like Steve Martin, I definitely would check it out. And I have Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. This one don't have a case. I had to make a case for it. But I got it at a thrift store, and the case was just really, really bad. Someone had spilled coffee or something all over it, but I really wanted the movie, and the disc was in good enough condition, so I just bought it and did it that way. And I got The Man with Two Brains. I've recently bought this movie for Matt Hart. I hope you really enjoy this movie, Matt, because it's a really good movie. Once again, directed by Carl Reiner. One of their many collaborations. Really, really funny movie. All of Me, another one directed by Carl Reiner. This is one of my personal favorite performances by Steve Martin because he plays himself and Lily Tomlin's character put in one body, and the way he moves his body and stuff like that is just really awesome. Really, really great movie. And then The Lonely Guy. This one's on VHS because I don't have it on DVD yet. Really, really good movie. I'm not for sure if this one's directed by Carl Reiner. I don't think it. Nope, it's directed by Arthur Hiller. But this is a really, really funny movie. One of my favorite movies. His character is really, really relatable and everything, and just a really, really good movie. One of his best. Probably my second favorite movie after The Jerk. And then The Three Amigos with Martin Short and Chevy Chase. The three of them make this movie really great. I love seeing all three of them work together. Him and Martin Short are really good friends and work together quite a bit, even still nowadays. But this was a really, really good movie. And Little Shop of Horrors. It's VHS. The case is pretty worn out, but really good movie. Once I get it on DVD, I'd like to get the special edition that has the original intended ending that director Frank Oz wanted, where it didn't have a happy ending, and because of that, the test audience didn't like it, so they gave it a happy ending instead for the theatrical version. And while I don't really mind it, the theatrical version, I don't mind watching it. I rather watch the original version with the added stuff. Then I got Roxanne. This is a very good movie. I think there was actually a Brady Bunch episode also that was based on the play that this movie was based on. It was either a play or a book. I think it was a play though. And but this was a really, really good movie. Very funny. The chemistry between him and Daryl Hannah is spot on, and it's just a really, really great movie. I love the scene when he's making nose puns and stuff in the bar when the people are trying to make fun of him and stuff. Just absolutely funny. And then I have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, another VHS. Hilarious movie. John Hughes did a really, really great job with this, and the chemistry between him and the late John Candy is just absolutely perfect. They really play off each other very well, and that's what really makes the movie work. Speaking of other movies where they play off each other very well, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Steve Martin and Michael Caine, they are both really hilarious. They play off each other very well. I think that they're actually doing a semi-remake of it with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. I don't really know how I feel about that. I love Anne Hathaway, so I guess we'll just wait and see. But it ain't gonna be near as good as this. So. Then there's Parenthood, another VHS. A lot of these movies I have on VHS, there's a pack that has a lot of them on DVD, so I'm going to just try to get the pack where I can get them all on DVD at one time. But this is a really good movie. It was directed by Ron Howard and had a great cast. Rick Moranis, Keanu Reeves, Mary Steenburgen, Diane Wiest, and Joaquin Phoenix is in this too, back when he went by Lee Phoenix when he was a kid. Really, really good movie. And there's My Blue Heaven, starring him and Rick Moranis. This really funny movie. Steve Martin plays this comic gangster character, and it's just a really funny movie. Like with John Candy and Michael Caine, his chemistry with Rick Moranis is spot on, perfect too. As you've seen before, because they worked together in a couple other movies like Parenthood and Little Shop of Horrors. Really, really good movie. Then there was Father of the Bride, another really great movie. Well, unfortunately, I only have on VHS, but really funny movie. I think Steve Martin was a really big fan of the original as a kid, so he wanted to be in the remake, and he did a really good job in it. Really good movie. I like the original version too, but I think I actually like that one a little bit more because just really, really like Steve Martin in that movie. And then there's The Grand Canyon. This one, he's more of a supporting role in it. He's not a huge part. This movie mainly stars Kevin Kline and Danny Glover and everything, but this is actually one of my favorite movies that he was in because the cast was just really, really good in this and everything. And it's written it's written and directed by Lawrence Kasdan, who is known for helping write some of the Star Wars movies. And this is just a really, really good movie. And then there's L.A. Story, another really good movie. This one was the early 90s one of Sarah Jessica Parker's earliest movies, and she was really good in it. And really funny movie. And there's House Sitter, VHS. First collaboration he did with Goldie Hawn. The two of them were hilarious in this movie together. And it was really fun getting to see them work together and everything in this movie. It was really, really funny movie. And then Simple Twist of Fate, another one of my favorite movies. This one was kind of underrated. I think it didn't do very good when it first came out. I don't know if it's really gained a following or not, but it's a really funny movie. Everything, it's funny and sad and moments of it and everything. Just really, really good movie. And then Father of the Bride Part 2. Like the first movie, this one was really good. It's actually, I don't know if I like it more than the first, but at least just as much, if not more. Really, really good sequel to a movie that I already really liked. I didn't expect to like that one as much as I did. And there's Sergeant Bilko, that really funny military comedy. Him and Dan Aykroyd and Phil Hartman are all three in this, and they're all hilarious and everything, especially him and Dan Aykroyd. I don't really remember who Phil Hartman plays in it, but it's really, really funny movie. And then there's The Spanish Prisoner. This is another one where he's kind of like a supporting role. This one's a drama. One of his few dramatic performances. It's really a good movie, but it's not one of my very most favorites. I like it, but I wouldn't say it's one of the best movies that he's in, or even one of his best performances. It's good, but just not one of my most favorites. Oh, no, I almost forgot. Mixed Nuts. I'm currently watching it right now, but I paused it to do this video, but this is a really funny movie. Adam Sandler's in this, right there. Can't see him very well on the case, but it was one of Adam Sandler's very first movies. He's not in it a lot, but it's a really good movie. Pretty funny Christmas movie. It has a lot of really weird, quirky characters and stuff. I don't think that one did very good either. It's kind of underrated. And then I've got The Prince of Egypt, which he's only in that one. He's not in Joseph King of Dreams, but that was the only way to get the first movie, so I got the 2-pack. But I don't really mind because I like both of them. But he plays one of the guys that works for the Pharaoh in Prince of Egypt, him and Martin Short. And they're the ones that sing Playing with the Big Boys Now, or whatever that song's called. One of the really catchy songs in the movie. Really good movie though. Then there's Bowfinger with Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin. And this movie is really funny. Has a good cast. It's directed by Frank Oz, who previously directed some of the other movies he's in, Little Shop of Horrors and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. But this was a really decent movie. It could have been a little bit better, I think, having those two really big names in it. I was kind of expecting a little bit more, but it's still a good movie. And there's The Out of Towners, another movie that's a remake of one of his favorite movies from when he was a kid, and co-starring Goldie Hawn. They reunited after House Sitter, and I don't think this is one of my favorite movies of his, but it's still a lot of fun. It's still funny and stuff. It's not quite as good as House Sitter, but I still enjoy it quite a bit. And then there's Novocaine, which also stars Laura Dern and Helena Bonham Carter. Really good movie. It's kind of a dark comedy, but it's pretty funny and everything, and definitely worth a watch. And then Bringing Down the House with Queen Latifah and Eugene Levy. Really, really funny movie. I never expected that Steve Martin and Queen Latifah would work so well together, but they worked very, very good together, and they became really good friends in real life too. He was one of the first guests that she ever had on her talk show when she started the Queen Latifah talk show. Okay, and then there's Looney Tunes Back in Action. This movie was not a very big hit when it came out. I remember when it came out, nobody really wanted to see it. I don't really know anybody that really liked it that much, except for a few of my family members, and I enjoy it quite a bit. It's not as good as Space Jam, but pretty big fan of Brendan Fraser, so it was kind of cool getting to see them two work together, because Brendan Fraser is also another actor that I really like, that I collect his movies. So sometime maybe I'll do a video for his stuff too sometime. And then I've got Cheaper by the Dozen. It has all 3 movies in it. The first 2 with Steve Martin, and then the original movie, the first one's a remake of. Really good movies. I personally like the Steve Martin ones better than the original one. It's one of those few remakes where I actually like the remake more, but I didn't care as much for Cheaper by the Dozen 2. I was actually kind of disappointed with it, but I love the first movie. I watch it every now and then. It's one of my favorites. It was actually probably the movie that introduced me to Steve Martin, I think, because at the time when I saw it, I hadn't really seen anything else of his. That one and Looney Tunes were probably the first 2 movies he was in that I actually saw, come to think about it. Next is Shop Girl, based on his own novella. He wrote the screenplay for it and everything. It's based on the novella that he wrote. Pretty good movie. I don't remember it very well. I've only seen it like once. And it wasn't one of my most favorites, but I thought it was still pretty good.
Just a minute.
And then it's the one that most people don't like, Pink Panther, with Kevin Kline and Beyonce. Personally, I love this movie. I think it's hilarious. I haven't seen any of the old Pink Panther movies, so I didn't have that nostalgia for those movies when I saw this and everything. I just had seen some of the cartoon and TV show and everything, but I love this movie, and I'm sure I'd love the originals too. I need to get them sometime and see them, but I know most people don't like that one, but I personally really do enjoy it quite a bit. Then I got the Pink Panther sequel. This one is on Blu-ray because that was the only way to get it, but it also comes with a disc that has like 27 episodes of the Pink Panther cartoon show. It's really awesome. And then there's Baby Mama. He's not in this movie very much. He's actually a pretty small part in it, but most people probably wouldn't have even known he was in it unless they've seen it before. But I didn't even know he was in it for a long time until one day I was looking at his list of movies one time on the internet, and this one popped up on there, and it's a really good movie. He's not in it very much though. And there's It's Complicated, one of the few movies of his that I actually got to see in the theater. Chemistry between him, Meryl Streep, and Alec Baldwin and Meryl Streep was really good. This really good movie and everything. And I think because of this movie, him and Alec Baldwin hosted the Oscars in 2010. And it was really awesome getting to watch them host the Oscars and everything. But I really like this one. Really good movie. And another one of his most underrated movies, The Big Year, with Jack Black and Owen Wilson. It's where they're competing in a bird watching competition. It's a really funny movie, very underrated. It did really bad in the theaters and stuff. And I didn't get to see it in the theaters because it did so bad that they didn't even play it by where I was at. But it's a good movie. And then this is a DVD CD combo that I got that has him performing his music live in concert with the Steep Canyon Rangers and Edie Brickell. Really, really awesome concert and everything. He doesn't sing a lot. He mainly plays his banjo, but the music is just really, really good, especially if you're a bluegrass fan, which I haven't listened to a lot of bluegrass, but I do love their music. And then Home, one of his last theatrical movies he was in. Not one of my most favorites, but not one of the worst either. It's an okay movie. I was kind of disappointed with it. I was hoping it would have been a lot better than it was. And then there's Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. He's not in this movie very much, but this was the first movie that he was in where I actually didn't like his character. Because he kind of plays this really bad, stuck-up person that kind of wants to take advantage of people and stuff and everything. His performance was great. I just didn't like his character in it and everything, but I thought it was cool though that he played somebody that I didn't like. I've never seen him actually be able to do that before. Almost every movie he's in, he's always a good character. And then I have a couple of his books. His autobiography, Born Standing Up, about the first 20 years of his career, and also chronicling like the first 30 years of his life and everything, how he got his start at Disneyland and everything, doing magic tricks, and then later leading to stand-up and eventually movies. It's a really, really good book. It doesn't go all the way into his movie career. I hope maybe eventually he'll do a book about his movie career, because this one mainly just goes into his stand-up career. But it is a really good book. Very fascinating read if you're a fan of Steve Martin and everything. And then there's this book, The 10 Make That 9 Habits of Very Organized People Make That 10, the tweets of Steve Martin. It's pretty much just like a bunch of little different funny tweets and stuff that he put together and everything in a book. Really pretty funny book though. And everything, and then the only other thing left I have, I think, somewhere. Yeah, here it is. His stand-up CD, A Wild and Crazy Guy. Really great CD. It's hilarious, and it has his King Tut song on there at the end of it, which I absolutely love. The King Tut song. They played it on Saturday Night Live, and I have it on another CD too that was a Dr. Demento CD that had songs played on the Dr. Demento show and everything. But anyway, that's my Steve Martin collection and everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a fan of Steve Martin, I hope you like this video. If you are a fan of him, let me know in the comments what your favorite movie of his is and everything. And I might do some more videos about Steve Martin, like top 10 lists and stuff like that. But anyway, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's any movie reviews or top 10 lists or movie collections that I have that you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll try to share them if I have them. And thank you, and have a good day.